Do you want to know more about model railroad operations? Why don't you stick around and watch this segment, see how we do on a mine and scale model railroad, the RJR Secondary. Hello everyone, Joe from Central Jersey Conrail and N-Scale. Welcome back to the Operations Series. So this month we're going to be running the WJSA-33. Alright, so the WJSA-33. So this train here on the model railroad is a train that calls out of Brown's Yard and would travel down the Amboy Secondary to service the industries down there in Dayton. There is a huge industrial park called Keller Industrial Parks. Now on the prototype. The prototype, the train that serviced that area out of Brown's Yard has changed over the years. The train numbers at one point it was called the WJSA-33 or 31. Can't really tell because of the documentation's really not that good on it. Then at one point it became the SA-35. Then it went back to the 31. And at one point there was actually two jobs. It was a nighttime job where it was it ran, I think, on a Saturday night, and they called it the WJSA-02. So you know, I kind of used a lot of modelers' license and kind of just went with 33. I kept with the Conrail numbering scheme, and it kind of fit into with all the other jobs that I run out of Brown's Yard. Now, back in the day, mid-80s, late 80s, even up into the mid-90s, that job that ran down into Dayton, there was a boatload of work to do down there. BASF was a huge polystyrene manufacturing facility. There was an air products down there that made certain products, and there was RJR Foods. There was an ink company. Later in the mid-90s, there was a paper company that opened up, and it's still in business down there. But however, toward the end of the 90s, after the split, a lot of the industries closed down. BASF closed down, Air Products shut down and moved down to Mexico. RJR Foods doesn't ship anything by rail anymore. So really, last time I was on Facebook, the only industry that's getting deliveries down there is the paper company. So yeah, so I think the peak of this train would have been in the 80s. But now, because of space considerations, I had to compress out a lot of the industries, and I kind of picked the one iconic one would have been the BASF plant, because it was right there by the turnpike, and everybody was driving on the turnpike. Remember seeing the big blue building with the red BASF letters on it. So that's why I picked that one. And then RJR Foods, because I don't have any other industries to move refrigerated loads through, so I was like, hey, let's pick that one. But now RJR Foods wouldn't have been up there on the Amboy Secondary. It was actually into the industrial park, so I kind of moved it. Okay, so now that I've filled you in, given you all the history of that train, let's head over to Brown's Yard. Meet up with the crew, get our paperwork, and get ready to move down to Dayton to do our work.
Okay, everyone, so we're over at Brown's Yard with the crew of the SA-33. They have their train assembled, they conducted their air test, and they checked out their locomotive. So let's go over our paperwork. So on our switch list, so we're going to be picking up one car out of BASF and dropping off two. And we're going to be picking up two cars out of RJR Foods and dropping off two. We also have a caboose with us. So our Form D, because we're going to be getting on the Amboy Secondary after we get out of Brown's Yard, we need our Form D. So it's going to be C1042 C&E, number 8072, crew of the SA-33, Circle Line 2, operate in both directions on single track between Browns and milepost 18. Dispatcher is JD. Time effective on the fast clock is 12:14 hours. Okay, so we have all our paperwork in order. I have my car cards, so let's head on down to Dayton to do our work. Okay, so we're here in Dayton. So what we're going to do first is we're going to drop the caboose. Then we're going to have to push those 2 tank cars into BASF. Then push back and drop those 2 reefers on the main. And then we'll have to do a runaround to do our work down at RJR Foods. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is set a handbrake on the caboose. One couple. All right. We will pull forward. Okay, crew's going to walk up. They're going to unlock the switch stand and open the turnout for BASF. So, 8072, turnout's line for BASF. Conductor's on the rear, brakeman's on the ground. Push forward, 5 car lengths to a couple. Good right there, 8072. All right, we don't got to worry about setting handbrakes on the tank cars because the one tank car in there already has a handbrake on. So we're gonna pull out 8072. Let's back out of BASF. Okay, brakeman's going to close that turnout. (8072) conductor's on the rear. I'm going to push back 6 car lengths. One more. 1/2. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to couple and connect. Go ahead and a couple of cars. (8072). Let's back up. All right, brakeman's going to open the turnout for BASF. Couple and connect. All right, the conductor's going to walk back and release the handbrake on the tank car that's in there. Plant. All right, 8072. Back out of BASF. Conductor's on the rear. Brakeman's on the ground. That's good right there, 8072. All right, brakeman's going to line the turn out for the main. (8072). Conductor's on the rear, brakeman's on the ground. Push forward 2 car lengths. 2 a couple. One more. 1/2. All right. Conductor's going to walk down and release the handbrake on the coupler, or on the caboose. All right, 8072. We're going to push forward 2 car lengths. One more. 1/2. That's good right there. All right. Conductor's going to set the handbrake on the black tank car, the AMD one. All right. 8072. Conductor's on the rear. Let's pull back 3 car lengths. Well, that's good right there. That brakeman's going to open the turnout. Okay, 8072. Turnout's line for 105. Conductor's on the rear, brakeman's on the ground. Push forward into the BASF to my mark. One more. 1/2. It's good right there. All right, so conductor's going to get off. He's going to set 2 handbrakes. (8072). Let's back out of BASF. All right, brakeman's going to close and lock the turnout. All right, the crew's going to go down. They're going to pick up the rest of the train and get it in position for a runaround. All right, we'll release that handbrake on the tank car, and we're going to back up. 8072, conductor and brakeman are on the ground. Pull back to my mark. All right, 8072, that's good right there. All right, we're going to set a handbrake on the caboose. All right, conductor's going to go with the locomotive down the other end of the runaround. Brakeman will stay up by the caboose. Now couple and connect. Gonna release the handbrake on the car, the caboose, excuse me. Gonna push the whole string back full, clear of RJR Foods. All right, so Brakeman's gonna walk over and close the turnout for the runaround. All right, we'll continue backing up. Okay. We'll set a handbrake on the first reefer car. And I'm going to pull forward. Okay, unlock the switch. Alright, and the brakeman's going to open the turnout. Alright, brakeman's going to unlock the switch stand. He's going to open the turnout for RJR Foods. Alright, 8072, brakeman's on the ground, conductor's on the rear. Let's push back 5 car lengths. All right, 4 more. 3 more. 1 more. 1/2. Alright, we're going to couple and connect. We'll release the handbrake on the first boxcar. Alright, 8072, let's push back. And we're going to couple and connect. And release the handbrake on this second boxcar. Alright, 8072. Let's pull out of RJR Foods. Alright, 1 more. That's good. Alright, brakeman's going to close the turnout. We're going to back down a couple on our reefers that need to go into RJR Foods. 8072. Back up 3 car lengths. Conductor's on the rear. One more. Okay, couple and connect. Alright, we're going to release the handbrake on that reefer. We got to set the handbrake on the tank car because we messed up. Alright, let's pull forward. All right, one more. That's good, 8072 right there. All right, Brakeman's going to open the turnout for RJR Foods. Okay, so now, per the customer request, we have to spot each reefer at the door. (8072). Push back about 5. Conductor's on the rear. Brakeman's on the ground. All right, give me 2 more. One more. That's good. Okay. So, conductor's going to set the handbrake on the Sioux reefer. Because these cars are longer, the doors actually line up. Alright, we're going to set the handbrake and leave it right there. Alright, one couple here. (8072). Let's pull out of RJR Foods. I never noticed that before, that Walther spaced those doors out for the 50-foot mechanical reefers. Interesting. Alright, so now we have to reassemble a train. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. We got to get this tank car that we left down there. And we got to get the caboose on the rear end. So what we'll probably do is just go down and grab the tank, spot everything in the middle, and then we'll push the caboose through on the runaround and reform the train for our air brake test. Okay, so Brakeman's going to line the turnout for the main at RJR Foods. Then he's going to lock the switch stand. He's going to get on the rear. Conductor's going to stand on the caboose. We're going to push back. 8072, let's push back to my mark. Alright, we're going to release the handbrake on the tank car. Brakeman's going to walk forward and get on the caboose with the conductor. We're going to pull forward. 8072, let's pull forward clear on the main. Alright, let's set a handbrake on that box car. Okay. Now we're going to pull forward. One more. One more. All right, we'll release the handbrake. Now we're going to back down and get the caboose. One more. All right. Okay, release the handbrake on the caboose. All right, now we'll pull forward so you can see the train, and we'll do the air brake test. Okay. All right, so we're going to do an initial air brake test because we put this train together. We have 4 cars. I'm going to charge the train line. Okay, we're going to set the brakes. Hold them for 15 seconds on the fast clock. All right, we're 68 psi on the brake pressure. And confirm the pressure in the caboose at 66 pounds. We're going to visually inspect that all brakes are applied. All right, that's complete. We're going to release the brakes. We inspect that all the brake shoes release. All right, brake test is complete, successful. Let's check our paperwork, and we'll be ready to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and change out the car cards. Picked up the 2 from RJR Foods. Here's the 2 deliveries. Picked up the 1 from BASF, and here's the 2. Put them all back together. And we're all set to go back. We'll check our switch list here. We'll check our switch list and make sure. All right, we dropped the car at BASF. The 2 cars we dropped at BASF. We picked up the 1. We picked up the 2 at RJR Foods and dropped off the 2. So we're all set. So we can head on back to Brown's Yard. We'll call Brown's Yard we'll call the Brown's Yard master and make sure he's ready for us. And we'll head out. Okay, so we're back in Brown's Yard. We're going to take a cancellation on Form D C-104 at 1900 hours.
All right, everyone, there you go. That's how we did it. So 6 hours and 45 minutes on the fast clock. It was a good run. Not too many issues to talk about, but you know, most of the problems down there was dirty track. I got to get some better track cleaning tools to get underneath the cantonaries and stuff down there. So some of the skips that you noticed the edits in was because of dirty track. I did, however, find one turn out there that I'm not 100% happy with, and that's the one over there at BASF. So the turnout at BASF, I think, can be remedied with just a quick spring change out like I've done over there in Seba. And I think that area will be running really good. That area down there, I've really gone over with a fine-tooth comb, because don't forget, we did the scenery, and that's when I had operations sessions going on. So I had other operators here, and I was able to, really hone in on it and dial that little area in. So another thing that was going on down there in Dayton that it was operator error, for a lack of better terms. And so, I was getting ahead of myself and not paying attention. I didn't have any situational awareness. I was running up against turnouts that I had left out of position. So, that's just something you want to think about, because real railroaders, they don't want to make those unnecessary movements because it eats up their time. So, thinking ahead, putting the turnouts in the positions that you need them, and that'll just make for a smoother operation and more realistic as well. So our operation session here is progressing along really well. We had a really good one down in Saraville. We had a not so good one down in Seba, but I'm going to say over here in Dayton we did really good. So I'm very happy with the way the layout's running over there. The other thing that I'm working on is this series of cars that we're moving off the layout. So the ones we're picking up. This is kind of an alternate set of cars. And if you notice, some of the cars really don't make sense. Like over there, RJR Foods, I just had uninsulated box cars standing in. And that was until I could get some more cars. So now that I've got some more reefers, I'm going to go through and, before we do the yard ops, I'll swap them out for the cars that I want in this set, and before we move it off the layout. So that's just kind of what's going on there. So kind of, as you're playing along here, just kind of understand that some of the cars really aren't where they're supposed to be, but we're going to wrap that up when we do our yard ops at the end of this series. So next month, we're going to be running the WJSA-33, and that's going to be the new and improved run down to the Southern Secondary staging area, and I'm looking forward to doing that and see how that comes out on camera for you. All right, so that's going to put a wrap on this video. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, you like model railroad operations, please subscribe to the channel because we love to have you following along. Don't forget to hit the bell for the notifications. And if you haven't done so already, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And that's all I have for you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.